Two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio. LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, Jonas Knox with you here. Coming up top of next hour, yes, we are going to get into the real reason why something was done in the National Football League. That'll be yours here on FSR. But right now, it is time for our Express Pros Pro of the Week, and the Pro of the Week goes to...
The Western Conference Finals Most Valuable Player Trophy is appropriately named after another all-time NBA great, Magic Johnson. The winner of the Magic Johnson Trophy for the 2025 Western Conference Finals Most Valuable Player is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
There you go. SGA gets the Western Conference Finals MVP. He was the MVP of the regular season, and he is our Express Pros Pro of the Week. Are you ready for a new job? Let Express employment professionals help. While Express helps people in all industries find work, our sweet spot is logistics roles, and Express never charges job seekers a fee. Go to expresspros.com. I'll be honest with you, I'm struggling for other storylines to pull from that game last night. It was an ass kicking. Yeah.
And it felt like an ass kicking from start to finish. Like, it really didn't feel like Minnesota was ever in that game.
But it's good to see the best team.
Or the series.
And
I'm still upset. That they didn't borrow that Cavalanche. They only got used once this year in Cleveland. I just thought it would have fit in well in Minnesota.
They're going to bring that back, right? They'll bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope so. You spent like $500,000 on it, right?
It might have worked on that boat with Stephon.
Oh, damn.
Call it the Pink Avalanche.
Damn.
Oh, no.
That's a Tootsie wave.
That Tootsie Lanche. Get all on me. Hit me in my face. Come on. Yeah. We are Sports.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Oh, tasty high note. Oh, hi, don't mind me. I'm practicing my new baritone sax. I just heard PayPal's paying for people's stuff every day for 100 days, and there's 10 million up for grabs. All you have to do is use PayPal checkout online. So there's never been a better time to buy a few things off the old wish list, like this leaf blower. PayPal can pay for your purchase. The Great PayPal Checkout.
No purchase necessary. Ends July 18th. See official rules at paypal.com/thegreatpaypalcheckout/terms. Participating merchants only must use PayPal checkout online. Coverage of up to $100 and eligible purchases per card.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Reports of a new accident on the service road of I-35 southbound before 183 around Barwood, causing some minor brake taps. Delays are growing as we get further along into the morning on I-35 northbound, about an 8 to 10 minute delay between Onion Creek Parkway and William Cannon. And there's a crash on Old Lockhart Highway at Slaughter. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cordell & Cordell.
Cordell & Cordell. Divorce and Family Law. CordellCordell.com. 866-323-7529. 866-323-7529. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
But do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
With your busy schedule, there's no way you have time for all those complicated fantasy lineups. But there is time to win up to 2,000 times your money on Better Picks. With Better Picks, you can jump in fast and pick more or less on your favorite player's stats for a chance to win up to 2,000 times your cash. All in the time it takes to listen to this commercial.
Pick, tap, and win. That's it. You can turn that $10 bill in your glove box into $20,000. That's some real excitement.
So don't forget, if it's game day, it's Better Picks Day. Crank up the excitement with Better Picks and play for huge cash payouts. Go to betrpicks.com or download Better in the app or Play Store and use promo code RADIO to get your first deposit matched in bonus funds up to $77. That's betterpicks.com, promo code RADIO.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Don't miss your chance for a memorable night's sleep during the Factory Mattress Memorial Day sales event. Hurry in for buy one, get one free, or a free adjustable base upgrade on select mattresses, up to $500 savings on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets, and even free delivery. Factory Mattress offers guaranteed lower prices and 0% financing for 60 months on all the top brands. It's the Memorial Day sales event, only at Factory Mattress, where we have sleep down to a science.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Get the Apple leasing advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Good morning, Kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, Leander, and Silsbee, Texas, or wherever you may be listening. This is a Throwback Thursday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Texas softball starts its national championship quest. OKC blows out the Timberwolves to advance to the NBA Finals. We've got a top 10 5-stars quarterbacks in the history of college football, and we will rank them. Coach Sloss joins us at 8 a.m. to talk regional. Lifetime Longhorn Kirk Dressendorfer will join us in our Legends of the Locker Room segment at 8:17. And you will hear from Coach Miller, Coach Sark, and Coach Vic Schaefer as they all hit the stage at SEC spring meetings. That's right. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry. Good morning, Austin. And of course, we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to voice your opinion, all you got to do is leave us a message by using that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. We'll receive it instantly, and you might hear it on air, but you also will get a chance to win Dierks Bentley's tickets for tonight's concert. Make sure you tune in. I'll give you the keyword of the day, and you'll get a chance to win a pair of tickets to tonight's concert. Well, let's get right into it because the NBA continues to not disappoint. Well, unless you're a Timberwolves fan, and then you're very, very disappointed. This is the OKC Thunder winning this matchup 124-94. And what that means, folks, is I had to pay off my debt. And I went and brought donuts this morning because Mark had asked me, and we placed the bet. And as a man of my word, I got up early, went to go get some donuts, and I ended up bringing them in.
So nice.
That's what I do.
And you know, whoa, easy. When you pay up your debts, it makes you feel good. What do you mean it
makes you feel good?
It makes you feel good to pay up your debts and to not to owe anybody anything.
Right.
You know, I don't like it. I don't like to owe anything.
Well,
I don't want to feel indebted too. So let me pay my debt off.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where it is, and I appreciate you doing so.
Yeah. No problem. It just took me out of my way because of the fact that the Timberwolves decided that they did not want to play basketball. The face of the NBA, who he's not going to be the face
He's going
of
to
it.
grow up. He's going to grow up.
Well, we thought that last year. We thought that the year before. He's at that stage now.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
I gave up on him from the game one when he just didn't seem to have the energy. And the person I'm talking about is Anthony Edwards. It just so happens that every time you try to put an American, that's right, I'm calling him an American because I was hopeful that we would have an American MVP at some point, but it looks like it's going to continue to go across the border and hang out in Canada with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
If you get good basketball, does it matter?
No, it don't matter to me.
If you get superior entertainment, does it matter? Like I'm at the point now where to have Joker and to have Giannis and now have Shea, I'm not mad at anything. I mean, Joel Embiid, you know, he's American now, but when he won his MVP, he was not a citizen.
Right.
So it's like the last four have been non-American. So I'm not aggravated by any means. As long as I'm entertained with basketball and I feel like the league is getting better, which I think this is the best playoffs I've watched in years because of how dedicated the coaches were to sticking to strategy and how consistently great the competitiveness of these playoffs were.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that they were that competitive because there were some 40-point blowouts in the playoffs as well. So I would say that
that's just a few games. I'm talking about the series. Nobody expected New York to really beat Boston, and all of that happened.
Oh, you talking about series, overall? You're not talking about the
totality of series.
Okay,
right. You had the Indiana Pacers have two series from the jump that we were like, man, Indianapolis they're winning buzzer beaters to win these. I mean, it's just where's the weakness? No. The only weakness was the deplorable nature in which the Lakers played in the first round.
Yeah,
and that was it. That was lazy, unenthusiastic basketball.
Well, I still believe that when you look at the overall record in the NBA, the disappointing part is OKC has been this good all season long. The disappointing part was Cleveland. Cleveland was the other team that should have been, that people thought that were going to be in the finals, but Indiana did their thing. But one thing is for sure, when we think about SGA, all you can think about is him being the MVP, and he proved to be that in this series.
Randall off the bounce. Caruso knocks it away, comes up with a steal. Throws it back, and Gilgeous-Alexander, the unselfish play.
Yeah, pretty much the entire building on its feet as we wind down the first half. Gilgeous-Alexander, left hand, and lays it up and in. Edwards, nice fake. Pass deflected and stolen. SGA down the lane, throws it down. More defense to offense. SGA inside, counted out, a foul.
Man, I mean, he's just one of those guys that finds a way to get it done, and that's what he continues to do. Score buckets, be the MVP, and was named MVP of the Western Conference Finals.
Winner of the Magic Johnson Trophy for the 2025 Western Conference Finals, most valuable player is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I just want to shout out these fans. They've been here. A couple years I got here, there's some really dark times in this arena, not fun times, and these fans have been by our side through thick and thin, so we appreciate them first and foremost. And then, of course, I want to thank my teammates. Without them, I'm nothing. Clear as day. I don't have 124 points by myself.
He's a team guy. And then speaking of team, 14 players played in that game last night for OKC. Obviously, it was a blowout. They scored 9 points. Minnesota scored 9 points in the first quarter. And let's just say it was an embarrassment throughout the entire evening, especially because of the point that you start to look at an NBA semifinals, so to speak, to get into the championship. Your season is on the line, and you go out and lay another egg is very, very disappointing.
I'm not only is it disappointing for Minnesota, I think that they realize that with what they have is not good enough. And Rudy Gobert, as much as he is a big threat, he's a guy that is slowing them down. And he's the guy that they can hack a Shaq. Like, you want to make sure that you have zero weaknesses. Oklahoma City has some strengths that I'm going to talk about in my World's Strongest Take, and is the true reason why that series the way it was, and that was what spawned our bet. I was under the impression that, man, this is a very good defensive team, and what they have and the way they play the stars is different than every other game that they play. And you said, man, Anthony Edwards though, and I said, Hardge, he will not be the reason that they win that series. Somebody else will be the one. And that's what started the bet.
So where do you think Minnesota's going for vacation?
They going to Galveston.
Nah, I don't think they're going to Galveston. They need to purify.
You have to purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Oh, hey, that's right around the corner from them.
Exactly, but they got to get back home first. They should have saved some frequent flyer miles and not even flew to OKC, because that was a waste of time. But congratulations on your victory of your bet.
Well, thank you, Hard.
Way to go. Way to go.
Wow, that seems so sincere.
Hey, it's here, right? I showed up with it. Coming up next, we're going to continue the conversations as you look around and realize that we have a new basketball coach that we haven't heard from a lot since his arrival. Well, we're going to give you that opportunity. Coach Miller, when he was at the SEC spring meetings, coming up next right here on the Morning Kickoff on a Thursday, right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
One time when Bill Schoening and I were doing a Tuesday night game, and there was an umpire behind the plate, Tom Jenkins. And Tom was a rather corpulent fellow, and he lets a pitch go in there. And you hear this pop again. He goes, ball two. Then crystal clear that our field mic picked up was some fan yelling, Jenkins, you fat.
Only on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
The city.
Las Vegas.
Vegas, make some noise!
The event.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
Live. Welcome. One stage.
2 nights. The biggest stars in music return this September.
To make history.
The world's biggest artists are taking this stage.
Stream live only on Hulu.
I said, woo! Listen right here as the star-studded lineup is revealed.
Tuesday morning.
At 7.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
We're slow on both sides of I-35 this morning, north and southbound. Going northbound, you're slow from Onion Creek Parkway over to William Cannon Drive. And going southbound, you'll see plenty of brake lights between Palmer Lane over to Runberg Lane. But the drive on Mopac northbound this morning is issue-free from William Cannon up to Loop 360. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's. Save $100 on the Craftsman V20 Max 6-tool power tool combo kit, now $199. Head to your nearest Lowe's store for big savings on tools today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $50,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet will always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
And Doug.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
How did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is a listening learner, so he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to be
Precio.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Rocket.com is the new home for all things homeownership. Whether you're buying your first home, finding your next one, or unlocking home equity to fund one of your dreams, there's only one destination that has everything you need to get started all under one roof. Get started today at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Who owns the summer? Who's got the hottest professional 3-on-3 basketball league of the summer? Ice Cube's Big Three. It's summer in the city. The Big Three's back. Tune in to CBS and Vice all summer long. That's right. Ice Cube's Big Three. The best 3-on-3 basketball league in the world. Don't miss the incredible showdown. Playing the game like it's meant to be played. With your favorite Big Three players like Dwight Howard, Michael Beasley, Jordan Crawford, Gerald Green, Kemba Walker, Jason Richardson, ISO Joe Johnson, Montrezl Harrell, and many more. You'll also see the legendary and Hall of Fame coaches like Michael Cooper, Calvin Murphy, Steven Jackson, Young, Nancy Lieberman, and Julius Dr. J. Irving, George the Iceman Gervin, and the 2024 Big Three champion Gary Payton. Fire up the grill and bring in the family. It's Big Three, baby. Summer in the city. And we got a special halftime musical guest. Tune into CBS Advice all summer long. Oh, yay, yay.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Sarah Jessica Parker almost walked away from Sex and the City. She talks about that and a lot more on Are You a Charlotte? Plus, Snoop Dogg spills about his inauguration performance backlash. And trust me, he's got a lot of things to say about it with the Breakfast Club. And Aubrey O'Day, Diddy's former protege, joins Amy Robach and TJ Holmes for exclusive coverage of the trial that's gripping the nation.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Texas Longhorns.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. The Zone. Mike Hardball, our world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, the Mark Henry. Oh my God, Mark holding it down. We will not have Eric Henry today. He's got some stuff. They're obviously doing a lot in Florida with the SEC meetings, and he's handling some business down there. But coming up in the next segment, you will hear from Coach Sark and Coach Vic Schaefer about Texas and where they are headed. But right now, I want you to hear from Coach Sean Miller. Sean Miller took over the Texas basketball program right after the season, and he's been on the grind. He's been doing the tour. You can see him on a lot of different shows. We're going to try to get him on next week with us. But here's Coach Miller with his opening statement at the spring meetings of the SEC.
Here today, I'm thrilled to be here. SEC spring meetings from afar, I think, captivates college sports. All eyes seem to be pointed here in Destin, Florida, and to be a part of it, especially at a great place like the University of Texas. I'm both honored and thrilled to be here and excited to talk about Texas basketball.
For Lucinda and for Dalen, how important is it just for them to be able to come in, because you mentioned that you're not coaching the team, so for you to have a style and a way of doing things, how important is it to have those guys to maybe help the other guys who've been here or coming here to know how you operate?
Well, it goes to the word that everybody talks about in today's college sports model, and that's retention. We're all looking for ways to keep our best players, to have key contributors and winning players go from one season to the next. It's how things always have been. If you look at pro sports, the value of keeping your best players with you for long periods of time, because it's not only their consistency in their own performance, but it's their ability to impact others, to teach them, to coach them, to kind of show the way to those that are new. And Lucina and Dalen have a unique opportunity because they've been with us in Dalen's case for multiple years, in Lucina's case this past year, but they know how we travel, how we practice, they know terminology, they know people, they know our strength coach, they know who I am. And I do think that they'll be very helpful in bridging that gap that just is there when you're a new coach at a new place with the other players. Equally important are the 5 or 6 Texas returners, guys that have been in the SEC that understand what it's like to play in Nashville and be part of the SEC tournament, that live in Austin, that go to school every day. So, they're going to be able to, from that retention perspective, be very helpful in building. So if you look at it, we have retention this coming year, in my first year, 2 different ways, from the 2 guys coming from Xavier and from those returning from Texas. But that's a force that I don't think we underestimate. You obviously collect talent. You have to have a talented roster, especially in this league. But the familiarity and the retention part of it is something we hope to build as well.
And what he basically is saying is he's bringing guys in that can teach the others the system. A lot of times these coaches aren't allowed to work with the players and do different things. So make sure that you have guys that can teach, just like football, where you have Michael Taft teaching the safeties, making sure some of the young players understand what's going on. Anthony Hill teaching some of the young players the system and what's so important for them at that linebacker position. So Sean Miller is coming in and doing the things that he needed to do, but he was asked what attracted him to the University of Texas.
Well, it's 2 parts. I think the first part that's attractive is I think for any coaches to be a part of the University of Texas. I mean, there aren't many places that combine the forces that we have on our side. city of Austin, I think that it gets known around the country as like this really cool, great college town. I've never heard a bad word. It's a great place to live, a great food scene, live music, great college town. And you get to Austin, you're like, oh my goodness, like it's one of the top 10 largest cities in our country. Like, it's way more than a college town. It's a thriving city. It's the fastest growing city in America. And then, you look at our campus, start with the university itself. I think the statistic that is in play right now is 90,000 applicants a year. They accept less than 9,000. There are many universities that can say that, and yet the backdrop of Austin with University of Texas, now you put the SEC in play, which it just means more is a great slogan. We've all seen it from the outside if you're not a part of the SEC, but it does. You feel that when you turn the TV on, when you watch a college football and this year college basketball game, you sense that college sports is just incredibly important in this footprint. So that, and then the other part of Texas is the Moody Center and our practice facility. It's 2.5, 3 years old. There are very few places that have that type of new facility, and that's a great combination that I just named right there in a row. So it's a decision that, although for me, Xavier, it's not like I wanted to leave there. It's a great place in its own right. It's just, if you really want to be the best or try to win at the highest level, I think the future of college sports is right here.
And that's saying a lot because of everything that goes into being a head coach. As he said, the main thing that everybody talked about, and this was going back to Chris Beard, when the Moody Center was built, it was designed obviously for concerts and other things, but making it a true home court advantage, unlike the Frank Irwin Center where it was the drum and it was just it would leave you. I've been to plenty of games, men and women, for Texas athletics, and it is loud in that place.
Yes, sir.
And they have done an excellent job of building that atmosphere. Now it's just got to translate on the court.
Moving the students close to the court, too. That was a big
They have their
factor.
own section.
Yeah.
It's just things like that. Obviously, being in the state of Texas and being around the state, you now know what recruiting is all about. Texas is hot on the trails of the #1 ranked class of 2026 player whose brother just happens to be the offensive lineman for the University of Texas, Trevor Goolsby. Michael Goolsby is one of the best players in the country, for sure, in the state of Texas. And Coach was talking about recruiting the state of Texas.
We want to recruit the high school players moving forward. To the earlier question, I think that it's a blend of transfers, retention, and incoming high school players. You can develop them, you can retain them, and we have such an amazing state that I don't think it would be in our best interest to not make the state of Texas, the best high school players in the state, a huge priority. To not do that, I don't know if you can maximize who we are as a basketball program and university. So recruiting high school players, you're going to see us active. I also don't think our entire team or classes of 5 or 6 are going to be a part of our future, but getting the right 2 or 3, sometimes maybe even 4 in a class, and then and trying to then add players to the spring. That's our philosophy.
And when you want to compete and you want to get those types of players, you obviously have to deal with NIL. It was a part of the topic when he took the job, and it's still a hot topic for Texas basketball.
I think the hot button model is just singular. It's the name, image, and likeness, and how that's going to work moving forward. And look, as a coach, I don't think any of us can be presumptuous or act as if we know the answer. A part of it is just we're in this period of time of the unknown, and I think the analogy that I've heard is you're flying the plane and building it at the same time. And to some degree, in terms of sports, that's true, right? Where you're trying to make the best decisions for your program, most importantly for the players that you're coaching in real time, knowing certain things may not be the same in the future. And by the way, certain things aren't the same today as they were even a year ago. So I think it's that unknown There's never been more of it when it comes to that, which affects recruiting, the lifeblood of what we all do.
And you got to make sure that you stay on top of it. And that's what he's going to be able to do immediately, because of the fact that recruiting is what it is. It's getting really, really intense, and we've seen a lot of it. I'm on the circuit, so I see a lot of the recruiting and all the people that are involved, and I'll see a lot more coming up this summer. So Texas is out recruiting Texas players, and as I said, the number one player in the state, his brother just happens to be one of the best offensive linemen for the University of Texas. Coming up in the next segment, we'll continue the conversations as Coach Sark talks a little bit about Texas recruiting, and we get to hear a motivational speech from one Vic Schaefer. You don't want to miss it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
We're slow on both sides of I-35 this morning, north and southbound. Going northbound, you're slow from Onion Creek Parkway over to William Cannon Drive. And going southbound, you'll see plenty of brake lights between Parma Lane over to Runberg Lane. But the drive on Mopac northbound this morning is issue-free from William Cannon up to Loop 360. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
People always say, Ryan, why don't you take it easy? Relax a little bit. Well, that's what the Staples Easy button is for. Just press it for quality products, friendly experts, and services like print, travel, or shipping, because we can't do it all. All right, guys? Thanks, Staples. That was easy.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Manor Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, principal partner. CordellCordell.com.
The largest gun show in Central Texas is back in Round Rock this Friday through Sunday. Texas Gun Shows, voted the #1 gun show in Texas, will be at the Embassy Suites off Interstate 35 in Round Rock, in the same parking lot as Bass Pro Shops this weekend. Can't make it Saturday or Sunday? No problem. Check out the sneak peek Friday 4 to 7. Hundreds of tables of guns, free parking, and no need to take a toll road. Do not miss it. For more info, visit gunshowstx.com. Texas Gun Shows, making gun shows guns again.
Buying a new house might make you say, "Shut the front door." Winning. This is my house now, baby. But you actually need to say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there to help you choose the coverage you need.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers. T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
I love this song. I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Astros right-hander Ronel Blanco will miss the rest of the season after a second opinion on his sore elbow led to the decision to have surgery. The Texans are finalizing details for a joint practice with the Lions before their preseason finale in August. Houston will also work with the Panthers. An Indiana Pacers fan is facing charges, accused of stabbing two Knicks fans during an Eastern Conference Finals watch party last week. I'm Frank Aaron.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Visit your local authorized dealer or learn more at mbusa.com/dream.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. The Longhorns live here.
Normally on Thursday, we would have our guy, Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. We're giving him the week off. He'll be back next week to fill us in on all things that happen at SEC spring meetings. Coming up at the top of the hour, we will have Coach Schlossnagle, Jim Schlossnagle, head baseball coach of the University of Texas, and explaining everything that's happening as the Austin Regional starts tomorrow. Texas plays Houston Christian at 1 o'clock, but there was some damage to the left field wall. There is a lot of videos and images of that wall. We'll get the latest update from Coach Schlossnagle on everything that's being done to fix that. But right now, I want you to hear from Coach Sark. And Coach Sark, we heard a little bit of it yesterday. We're going to hear a little bit more today, and we'll also hear from Vic Schaefer. And Coach Sark obviously has had success over the last couple seasons. After when he first got to the University of Texas, wasn't a winning season, won a bunch of games in year two, and then he has taken his team to back-to-back college football playoffs. Even in the expanded version, Coach Sark took Texas back to it as the only team that was able to get back into the college football playoffs. And Coach Sark was asked about the playoffs, what's the expectations, and should it be 16 teams?
I think, I've lived this life going all the way back to the early 2000s, right, when I was an assistant coach at USC, and we didn't have a playoff. And I think that I remember a year at SC, we had a great football team, and the way the computer spit it out in the end, I think LSU might have played Oklahoma, and we played Michigan in the Rose Bowl. And I think there were split champions that year. I think it was us and LSU were split champions. And we grew into a 2-team playoff, and we grew into a 4-team playoff, and now we've grown into where we're at today. And I think at the end of the day, we all just want to put the best teams to have an opportunity to compete for a championship. And now more than ever, the length of the season, last year we played 16 games, and that was just to get to the semifinals. We would have been 17, right, to win a championship. And so the idea, I think we've all got to wrap our brain around. I don't know if we'll ever see an undefeated national champion again. If we do, that's a really good team because it's just so difficult. And it's difficult, yes, because of the quality of the opponents you play, but it's so difficult to stay healthy that long. I mean, you're going to have teams in years like we had last year where you lose your starting quarterback. And how do you respond to your quarterback being down? Or you lose both your left tackles. That happened to us last year, or your left tackle, then your right tackle. And do you have the depth to endure? And so I think you're going to see teams more and more now, 2 losses, 3 losses, maybe even 4 losses that get in, not very different than the NCAA baseball tournament of what that looks like. I looked at Vanderbilt, I think, as a number 1 seed. There was a point in the season, they were 11-10, and now they're the number 1 seed in the baseball tournament. And so I don't know, and we kind of saw it in basketball this year with Florida and them winning the national. This idea of somebody's going to go 16-0 in college football, man, put a statue up somewhere of that team. Because
And think about that. Think about the journey in which this team has to go, like all teams. The schedule of the SEC, the teams that you're going to end up having to play, the strain of that. And he's right. Do you think there will be an undefeated team again that can win a national championship?
I don't think so. And if it is a setup where he actually in his heart of hearts thinks, man, we're going to kill him this year, then he's setting everybody up. But I don't think so. I don't think he's setting anybody up. I think he realizes that with the schedule that they have, playing in the SEC, everybody's going to get at least one loss.
Well, not only that, I think it's more of the transfer portal playing a part of it. Every
right.
gap
Teams
that
are going
you
to
have,
fix needs and get better. Oklahoma, like their quarterback, I got a chance to watch him.
Yeah.
He's impressive. He's not the quarterback that Texas faced last year at the Cotton Bowl.
Right.
This guy can throw it, man.
Yeah.
And to see him make that team better means that there'll be a different result in how they play. It may not be a different result in the end of the game, but it's definitely going to be a lot better than it was last season.
Yeah, and that's what I believe everyone has been talking about is the changes in the sport. It's the playing field is not a big divide anymore. There's teams that have now, you're going to have increased NIL. You're going to have ways to make money. You're going to be able to get those top-notch players. We see it all the time with the transfer portal as is. So for me, looking at this and being able to figure this change that is out there, that's why these guys like Brandon Harris, that's why teams are hiring GMs to be able to run the organization while the coaches go out there and are able to coach. So it is an interesting time. But one of the things that I have to give Texas a lot of credit for is being able to have homegrown talent. And what I mean by that is if you go back and you think about the University of Texas and the transfer portal, one of the biggest things that Coach Sark talked about, we need to get big humans. We have to be able to look SEC. And they've been able to not have to go into the transfer portal to get offensive linemen.
In that, we've recruited pretty good here in the last 4 years, and not just the O-line, but a lot of positions, and other positions maybe not so well. And we've utilized the portal like a lot of schools have to fill needs. We haven't tried to build our roster through the portal. We've tried to fill needs in the portal, and we just haven't felt like we've had those needs at the offensive line. We've recruited it well. Coach Flood is a great teacher. He's a great coach. We've got good continuity in that room. We've got good leadership in that room. And so I think one of the natural things, I was asked this earlier, people are going to say, oh, we're going to be a young football team this fall. We're not necessarily young. We just got some new faces, guys who have been in our program, who've been working on their craft, who have been developing, and now it's their opportunity. They're not necessarily young. These are guys in their third and fourth years in our program that now it's their time to compete and to show what they're capable of doing. And part of that for us is to live through maybe some of the growing pains that we just don't have the continuity that we've had the last couple of years. But there's still a lot of good players that if we felt like they weren't good enough, maybe we would have gone into the portal. But we felt like we had more pressing needs that we needed to address, and that room was going to be good enough for us to compete at a high level.
That's awesome right there. And I love the fact that he has given those kids that opportunity to develop, grow up, and be able to make sure that this is, you got the foundation. We're going to give you every opportunity to make sure that you achieve at a high level to be an offensive lineman here.
So in baseball, you would think that the guys that would have to really study and really know what their craft is would be a pitcher and a catcher, like because of so many variables and people coming up and knowing what each individual on the team's strength and weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it is with the quarterback and the offensive line. You have to know every variable every play that you come in, every formation. And if you see a defense and you can convert your defense and the quarterback and say, no, let's move into this on the fly, you're winning.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. You have to be taught that for a couple of years. So bringing in an offensive lineman just because he's good at Colorado or Alabama is not going to make you a good offensive line. It could actually make you worse because that guy won't know the calls.
Right. You got to be kind of dialed in and make sure that you understand what's going on. And for Texas to be able to win, they got to win at a high level. They got to make sure that they have the right people. And speaking of the right people, when you come to the University of Texas, you know what is asked of you, you know what is expected, and you know what needs to be achieved. And the one person that truly understands it is one, Vic Schaefer.
I go back to that second year. We go to the Elite Eight. We finish 5th in the country. We're 29-7. I'm at a head coaches meeting. There's 20 head coaches in there, and I look around the table. 10 played for the national championship. 4 won the national championship. I finished 5th in the country and was in the Elite Eight, and I'm not even in the top half of the coaches and the programs at Texas. But that's what Texas is, and so that's what you sign up for. When you go there, that's what you're signing up for.
And every coach understands that, and that is what we've been able to see from all the coaches here.
Man, that's so good
at the University of Texas. That just goes to show you elite likes elite, and when you can be elite, good things happen. And that's what's happening here on the 40 Acres. Coming up next, we'll continue the conversations. There's a top 10 of 5-star quarterbacks, and I want you to hear who they are and see where you rank them. I think I know where one of them will be for you. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Texas Longhorns are returning to Oklahoma City.
Texas is going to the Women's College World Series.
Follow the journey as Texas chases a national championship.
First pitch swing hits it high and deep to left field. It is out of here.
Listen to Texas Softball on 1300 The Zone and the free iHeartRadio app.
The JV and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
A wrecker is on the scene of a stalled vehicle on 183 southbound at Highway 290. The left lane's blocked off at the moment, but it should be clearing pretty soon. There's a couple new crashes. The first one on Bratton Lane at Shoreline Drive, and the second one on Smith School Road at Burleson Road. And some stop-and-go speeds, I-35 southbound between Parmer and Runberg. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's. Save $100 on the Craftsman V20 Max 6 Dual Power Tool Combo Kit, now $199. Head to your nearest Lowe's store for big savings on tools today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Don't miss your chance for a memorable night's sleep during the Factory Mattress Memorial Day sales event. Hurry in for buy one, get one free, or a free adjustable base upgrade on select mattresses, up to $500 savings on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets, and even free delivery. Factory Mattress offers guaranteed lower prices and 0% financing for 60 months on all the top brands. It's the Memorial Day sales event, only at Factory Mattress, where we have sleep down to a science.
The riveting podcast, What Happened to Talina Czar, unravels the chilling mystery surrounding a woman's disappearance during the COVID-19 lockdown, the internet sleuths who wouldn't let it go, and the dark subcultures and betrayals they unearthed.
There were a lot of secrets that were very hard to find.
Listen to What Happened to Talina Czar on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow What Happened to Talina Czar and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Start your weekend early with Thrifty Thursday at Dell Diamond, presented by Fire Troll Protection Systems. Each Thursday home game features savings with ticket, food, and beverage specials. Visit RoundRockExpress.com for details and tickets.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Attention construction superintendents, contractors, and event planners. If you're in the market for a temporary rental fence, call Viking Fence today. The same company that is so reliable with permanent fences can save you time, money, and headaches. Located in Central Texas since 1972, Viking is highly committed to prompt and courteous customer service. Our flexible pricing plans allow you to fix your costs or hit your budget. Ask about our damage waiver rate that will eliminate untimely chargebacks. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 or visit us online at vikingfence.com. Again, call 837-6411 or visit us at vikingfence.com. When you think temporary rental fence, think Viking.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the start of summer 2025. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Make sure you have the free iHeartRadio app in your phone today.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Marcus does such a good job of leading you right into the things that you need to know. And what you need to know is today is your day. You get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Dierks Bentley tonight at the Moody Center. All you got to do is get over to that new and improved iHeartRadio app. Search the one that's got the preset of AM 1300 The Zone. Tap that red microphone and leave the keyword burning. Burning is the keyword of the day for you to get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Dierks Bentley tonight at the Moody Center. Coming up in the next segment, we'll have Coach Jim Schlossnagle previewing the Austin Regional as his team will be hosting this weekend starting tomorrow. Texas will throw the first pitch at 1 p.m. tomorrow at Dish Falk Field, and we'll talk to Coach Schloss about all that. And there was a storm that came through, and I hope everybody's okay. So some of that was awful storm, but we did get a chance to see that the baseball field was a little torn up in left field. So we'll find out from Coach Schloss what is going on. But The Athletic did a article the other day on ranking the top 10 all-time 5-star quarterbacks. All time. And I'm going to start at number 10, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
At number 10, they came in with Caleb Williams. Obviously, Caleb Williams, what he was able to do at Oklahoma, changed the dynamic of that football team when he replaced Spencer Rattler in the game against Texas, and the rest was history. He ends up leaving going to USC, Heisman Trophy winner, all that. How do you feel about that?
I feel good. I feel good about Caleb. I'm a big fan.
Okay. Coming in at number 9, Justin Fields. Justin Fields went to the University of Georgia right out of high school. Things got a little hectic. He was there for both football and baseball. Ends up leaving, going to Ohio State. But Georgia did have a 5-star quarterback in Justin Fields. Didn't get a chance to really play. They played against Texas. They put him in on punt coverage, where he was the up back. Like, we didn't know you were about to run a fake play when you put him in that particular position. He ends up leaving right after that. Coming in at number 8, Bryce Young, 2020. Obviously, Bryce Young became a Heisman Trophy winner, went on to had unbelievable time at Alabama, and we got a chance to see him play against Texas multiple times, and Texas kind of controlled the game against them, but it is what it is, and now Bryce Young is at number 8. Coming in at number 7 was Tua Tagovailoa, 2017. I was at the national championship game where Tua came off the bench and threw the game-winning touchdown to another freshman in Devontae Smith, and Tua went on to have I'm not going to call it tumultuous, but he had some problems because of concussions and he broke his hip and did all kinds of things at Alabama, so that changed it. But he comes in at number 7. Number 6, Kyler Murray went to Texas A&M before transferring to Oklahoma, and the rest, obviously, Heisman Trophy winner, Big 12 title, being able to do what he was able to do. But the thing was, there was a glimpse that he might have come to Texas when he held up the jersey, but he decided he was just messing with us. Number 5, Trevor Lawrence. We know what he was able to do at Clemson. Unbelievable player in college. Number 4, Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, also a baseball player, went to college at Florida State, won a national championship. I got it. Coming in at number 3, Cam Newton. Cam Newton came to Florida in 2007. Well, they had another quarterback that was on that team, and Cam ends up going to Blinn Junior College, transferring to Auburn, takes his team to a national championship, and he also wins a Heisman Trophy. Coming in at number 2, VY. VY came in at number 2, and number 1 was Tim Tebow. Now, I understand folks here at the University of Texas will gladly flip the script on that one, have VY at number 1, and have Tim Tebow at number 2, but it's up for debate.
It's up for debate, but Tebow won 2, right? He won 2 natties or 2 Heisman?
No, he won 2 natties. No, only one person has ever won 2 Heismans.
So he won 2 natties and 1 Heisman. Vince should have won the Heisman. I give him the Heisman, so, it's a push. I would have to go Tebow.
Ought to be 1A, 1B?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ha! We'll ask Coach Schlossnagle who he thinks. He'll be like, what? I got a baseball game to think about. Coming up next, the head coach of the Texas Longhorns, Jim Schlossnagle, gets ready for the Austin Regional, and we'll talk about the season and the expectations of this weekend right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
When it comes to making fantasy picks on your favorite players, you want excitement, but you also want a platform you can trust. Better Picks is available in over 30 states. So if you're hearing this, it's probably available for you.
Better Picks is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just pick more or less on your favorite player stats and put your skills to the test.
With Better Picks, you get the thrill of playing for up to 2,000 times your cash. So go ahead, make your picks and play for big wins with super fast payouts and withdrawals.
Go to betrpicks.com or download Better in the app or Play Store and use promo code RADIO to get your first deposit matched in bonus funds up to $77. That's betterpicks.com, promo code RADIO.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
You don't wear football cleats to play tennis, so why wear running shoes to play pickleball? Tyrell pickleball shoes make shoes built for how the game is really played. Quick cuts, fast stops, gritty court surfaces. Tyrell has a Vibram outsole for grip, a wide toe box for comfort, and the kind of support that keeps your ankles out of trouble. We've tried them, and trust me, you'll feel the difference. Check them out at TyrellPickleball.com. Tyrell Pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball. King's Hawaiian welcomes you to summer and reminds you sliders are the perfect meal for the summer grilling season. King's Hawaiian rolls and slider buns, so versatile, perfect for whatever you're thinking of grilling up. How about chicken, beef, pork, fish, whatever you're thinking of putting on the grill, King's Hawaiian can turn those into delicious sliders and make you the hero of the backyard. So get ready for summer grilling season. Go to the bakery or deli section of your local grocery store and pick up those irresistible King's Hawaiian rolls and slider buns and enjoy.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Football fans, the countdown is on. The rookies are ready. The matchups are heating up. And it's time to plan your game day. TickPick has you covered with no hidden fees and the lowest price guarantee. So whether you're heading to a rivalry game or just want a weekend experience, you'll pay less and get more. TickPick gives you all-in-one pricing and the lowest price guarantee. They're so confident, they back it up with their best price guarantee. Visit TickPick.com and score your seats before the best matchups are gone. $10 off your NFL order with code FS10 on the TickPick app. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We talked OKC and SGA, the MVP, as they advance to the finals. We also heard from Coach Miller, Coach Sark, and Coach Vic. And now we get a chance to hear from the Texas baseball coach, Jim Schlossnagle. And, Coach, I know this is a busy weekend for you, but more importantly, how's the field right now?
Well, good morning, guys. Appreciate you having me on. I'm not quite there yet, but as of about 11 o'clock last night, they were in the process of taking down the damaged fence that got hit up during the storm, and we're going to have to come up with a temporary solution to get us through the weekend. So it's amazing how many people at Texas were on it within 15, 20 minutes of it happening, and I know they're working around the clock to have it ready for tomorrow. It's going to affect the practices a little bit today, but we should be ready to go tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
I know a lot of folks are excited about that and been kind of monitoring the situation, but let's get back to the brass tacks. And you made a comment that kind of stuck with me a little bit on Monday, and I was there for the celebration and the announcement of the tournament and being the host of the teams that are coming in. But you said don't take this stuff for granted. I understand the standard is the standard, but don't take this kind of thing for granted. Can you elaborate a little bit more for our listeners?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just super hard to make the NCAA tournament. It really is. You have over 300 teams in Division I baseball. Certainly, you have different levels of commitment. But since COVID, the college baseball, this is the golden age of college baseball. There's only a 20-round draft. You have NIL. More and more great players are staying in college, and more great players will come to college, which makes the talent level of the teams equal out. And obviously, you have the coaches. There's more money invested in coaching, and there's not too many games where you're playing somebody that's poorly coached. So, and then you throw in the SEC, and you see how with a couple injuries, and if kids start feeling less confident, the season can snowball on you. Like Ole Miss, Mississippi State, teams that won national championships didn't make the SEC tournament the year before, and then you look at what happened in College Station this year. That can happen to anybody. I mean, it truly can. I don't care what kind of coach you have. So I never take it for granted because I've had to sit there and watch wherever I was coaching, the name not pop up, and that's a miserable feeling. So the standard is the standard, but I'm certainly thankful to still be playing this time of year.
Coach, I'm glad you said that. There was a study that went on and said that the college basketball was better now because kids were staying in college longer. Is that the same for baseball? Are there more guys that are really talented staying in college baseball because going to the pros and getting in the minor league system is not conducive since they're making money and have the NIL?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's first of all, it's just there's not that many jobs. So you had post-COVID, Major League Baseball was already trying to contract their minor league teams and try to be more efficient in their development, spend more money on fewer players, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
And so COVID basically gave them the excuse to, and it was real, I shouldn't say excuse, it gave them yet another reason to reduce the number of minor league teams. So now you have, major league organizations that have significantly fewer minor league teams, therefore there's fewer jobs for people to go play, and which naturally is going to keep people in college or send guys to college. And then just the commitment at the upper level of Division I baseball to facilities and nutrition and player development and recovery, those are things you don't find until you get to the big leagues. And so obviously I have my own opinions, but I think the fastest route to the big leagues is to be a college player. And you're seeing the elite SEC college player make it to the big leagues now in less than 12 months, sometimes 18 months. And that's what we sell, and that's why everybody has a great team. You got the transfer portal. Everybody wants to play in the SEC. So every single team is super talented.
No doubt about it. We're talking to Texas baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle as they get ready for the Austin Regional, as they get ready to host Houston Christian, UTSA, and Kansas State. And Coach, going up against Houston Christian, this is a team that you saw earlier in the season. You also got a chance to play against UTSA, and you've had history with Kansas State. Tell us a little bit about the teams and the expectations of the weekend.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be great baseball. You got to have Houston Christian team where the coach has just done a phenomenal job of flipping around the program. They play super clean baseball. Friday night starters had a lot of success. He's a senior. Anytime you face a senior pitcher, and that's been an all-conference pitcher, an all-conference player, that tells you he's tough and he's not going to get spooked by the moment. I'm assuming that's who's Parker Edwards is pitching for Houston Christian. And they've had a great year, won their tournament. So they're a good team and a hot team. And then you have UTSA and K-State. UTSA's won 44 games. Older team, really good pitching, dynamic offense, can beat you in a lot of different ways. Have a couple of the better players in the state of Texas on their team. And their coach really does a good job of creating an incredible persona. and then K-State, who I haven't seen play in person, but I know the kind of teams that Pete Hughes puts together to do what they've done at Kansas State, competing for Big 12 championships without, great weather. They're building facilities, but Pete's from the Northeast. He's got a New England toughness about him, and that's how his teams play. And so it's going to be, the regional is truly up for grabs, and we're going to have to play well to win.
Coach, you said that they have construction going on at the stadium, and how you practice is going to be affected by that. How would a practice go? One, with people working on the back wall, and two, like trying to keep your team primed and ready for the competition.
So the teams will be able to get ground balls and kind of do defensive work, stuff that maybe doesn't include the outfield, and then they'll just have to take their batting practice in the batting cages, which most coaches are completely fine with. I've been to plenty of regionals where the practice day just gets rained out and you don't even get to practice. So we've also provided them. Coach Blair at Westlake has been gracious to, if there is a team that wants to get out on the field and take live BP, they can do that over there. So thankful for Coach over at Westlake. And but in terms of having our team ready, our guys are ready. They're chomping at the bit. We've challenged them all week to get better in certain areas of our, both individually and as a team. And I can promise you we're all tired of looking at each other. We're ready to play somebody else.
Coach, it's funny that you say that because I did a hit with KView yesterday, and I talked about a couple guys that we expect to see a lot from. Obviously, Jalen Flores is somebody that is a former All-American and is clutch when clutch is needed from him. So I'm hopeful that he and Rylan Galvan will step up to the challenge. But I wanted to get the latest on Max Ballou and what's his status.
Yeah, he's all good to go. Yeah, he's played in every inning of every game since he came back. I think he's getting more and more confident in that thumb and getting his timing down, and hopefully he can have a big weekend because he's certainly a guy that can change the game with one swing.
Yeah, definitely one of the guys that you're going to need to have step up at the plate as well. But let's get to the pitching rotation. Obviously, you got to get game one first. And so are we going with Ruger or are we going with Luke?
Well, kind of like Christmas morning, buddy. You're going to have to wait till tomorrow. And there's nothing.
Hey, man,
there's no
trying
early
to tell them how
present.
the donuts are made.
Coach, can we get a birthday present a little bit? I mean, a Christmas present early?
No, we don't. I'm not one of those households where you get to do stuff on Christmas Eve, man. You got to wait till Santa comes, and you got to go to bed. You can't be peeking around the corner. You have to wait till Christmas morning. So,
Mike, go to bed.
We'll figure it out later today. We're still trying to, we got to figure out how to best, play against Houston Christian,
right?
But also give us the best chance to win the regional. And I think we're still trying to play that out. We're still doing a lot of work on K-State at the moment to figure out if we play them, what the best matchup is.
All right, and then I'm going to let you go with this. Obviously, being at the University of Texas, the expectations, and as we talked about, the standards is the standard. Is there anything you would like to say to Coach White as they get ready to go for the quest for a national championship?
Yeah, man, send some magic across the street, brother. That's it's incredible the consistency that he's had in his career and Texas softball's had. The middle game of the Super Regional, that's actually the first college softball game that I've ever been to more than one inning. I think I went to a couple innings of one at A&M. We didn't have softball at TCU, so I stood down the line for all 11 innings of that middle game, or 10 innings, whatever it was. And man, what an exciting sport! And the ladies they're so crazy talented. So we practice at 10 this morning, but we will have that. We'll have that game on in the locker room and around the office and rooting on the Longhorns.
That's awesome, and I'm sure that he's returning the favor towards your way. And last but not least, what are you ordering over at Starbucks? Because we didn't heard everybody else's order but yours.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I made a bad choice.
Get that chai tea latte, Coach.
Yeah, I'm at a Starbucks on the last day of school, right across from the school. So there's like literally every kid and parent in here. Bad life choice, but I'm getting my iced matcha this morning.
All right, there he is. I'll be making sure to check in on you. Appreciate you, man.
Sorry, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.
You're good. There he is, Coach Jim Schlossnagle, as they get ready for their big matchup. Coming up next, we got the lifetime Longhorn legend, my guy, Kirk Dressendorfer, coming up next right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
As the weather heats up, the action on the diamond gets even hotter. Here's the 0-1. Swung over the ball, hit well, out toward right, and you can say goodnight to it. Tune into Longhorn Baseball all season long.
The stretch in the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Got him on the slider. And the Longhorns with back-to-back strikeouts.
From the road to the dish. This is Longhorn Baseball on 1300 The Zone.
The city.
Las Vegas.
Vegas, make some noise!
The event.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
Live. Welcome. One stage.
2 nights. The biggest stars in music return this September.
To make history.
The world's biggest artists are taking this stage.
Stream live only on Hulu.
I said, woo! Listen right here as the star-studded lineup is revealed.
Tuesday morning
at 7.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Delays are growing from a crash that has the right lane blocked off on I-35 southbound at Airport Boulevard. First responders are on the scene, but it's causing a 20-minute backup in these stop-and-go speeds start from Highway 183. Looking onto Mopac going southbound for a stalled vehicle blocking off the right lane at Loop 360, causing some minor backups. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. Get fresh spring savings when you shop with digital coupons at Randall's. This week at Randall's, get fresh 93% lean ground beef for $3.97 per pound with digital coupon. And first of the season red cherries for $2.97 per pound with digital coupon.
When divorce puts your life's work on the line, Cordell & Cordell is ready to help you protect it. As a business owner, you've dedicated years building a legacy now at risk due to divorce. Let our experienced family law attorneys fight for you and that legacy. Cordell & Cordell is one of the nation's largest family law firms. Call to schedule your consultation today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
When something happens to your car, you might say, well, that's just great.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome. How nice for me. But what you really need to say is, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there to help you file your claim.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Who owns the summer? Who's got the hottest professional 3-on-3 basketball league of the summer? Ice Cube's Big Three. It's summer in the city. The Big Three's back. Tune in to CBS and Vice all summer long. That's right, Ice Cube's Big Three. The best 3-on-3 basketball league in the world. Don't miss the incredible showdown. Playing the game like it's meant to be played. With your favorite Big Three players like Dwight Howard, Michael Beasley, Jordan Crawford, Gerald Green, Kemba Walker, Jason Richardson, ISO Joe Johnson, Montrezl Harrell, and many more. You'll also see the legendary and Hall of Fame coaches like Michael Cooper, Calvin Murphy, Steven Jackson, Young, Nancy Lieberman, and Julius Dr. J. Irving, George the Iceman Gervin, and the 2024 Big Three champion Gary Payton. Fire up the grill and bring in the family. It's Big Three, baby. Summer in the city. And we got a special halftime musical guest. Tune in to CBS Advice all summer long. Oh, yay, yay.
You heard the news. Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange and listed on the big board. Millions of Americans like you are joining our news revolution. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top 12 news brands in America. Even President Trump says it's terrific. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax, and its audience grew 50% since the same time last year. Millions really are making the switch to Newsmax. If you want to be a Newsmax share owner, call your advisor or get more info at newsmaxinvest.com. Stand with Newsmax today for a strong America. This communication is for informational purposes only and shall not be intended to or shall not constitute any offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation, or sale would be unlawful.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting saber-tooth zip ride or pan for gemstones. Take the wild cave tour or the hidden passages tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
Texas softball is heating up. Catch every pitch.
Field back goes Dill with a warning track to the wall. It's gone.
As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeartRadio app and listen to Texas softball all season long.
He is a three-time All-American, an All-Southwest Conference pitcher. He posted 45 wins, and what better way than having a legend in the locker room. On this day, Kirk Dressendorfer struck out 11 to help Texas get to its 25th College World Series. And we are welcomed by my guy, Kirk Dressendorfer. Kirk, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Well, we're excited to have you on, especially, obviously our guy, Chris Bennett, CB, posted that on this day in 1989, by the way, I was at that game, where you struck out 11 to help Texas get his 25th College World Series berth, and you just recently was enshrined in the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame. Man, I'm so proud of you, dude. You just don't even know.
Nah, I appreciate it. And, it seems like yesterday, but it's hard to believe that was like 36 years ago.
Exactly.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Hey, I was always told once a champion, always a champion. It don't matter how much time goes by.
No, it's nice. That was a great day, great memory, and kind of atone for the year before when we didn't make it. So, hopefully they'll give a little good luck for the fellas this year getting in there.
Well, I like locker room moments, and I'm glad to have you on the Legends of the Locker Room. Like, give us a locker room moment related to that game, and how do you feel about the state of the union in baseball, college baseball today?
A memory from that game, I think, just like every, I guess, top seed and coaching decision that goes into these regionals, you always have to make that big decision because you're usually paired up with a 1 and a 4. it's like who do you match up with, and do you go with your ace in a 1-4 matchup, or do you try to hold people back and get, wait for the next round? So we had to, that year ended up getting a nod a few days before against that same New Orleans team. And, they had a losing record, didn't, kind of won their conference tournament and got into it late. But, you got to win them one at a time. And, I ended up pitching the first game of that series against New Orleans and then got them again in the championship. And they were like our 4th seed. So you never know what can happen in these tournaments. You get a team that's hot, throw out the records and everything else on paper, because you got to go win them one at a time. So we got in a dogfight that first game and ended up, we were getting no hit going into the 7th, 8th inning. And we ended up pulling it out 2-0. But, things could have been, a whole different course if we hadn't got that first win. So that was a big one. New Orleans was a tough, good program, still is. And, it was nice to get those wins. And, as far as the state of baseball now, it's definitely, you guys know, college athletics is a different game these days than when, back in our day. But, I'm so proud of, I love watching these guys compete. And I think getting Coach Schloss coming over and, getting them ready to battle through the SEC. I mean, you can't let down for a minute, or, you get swept in real quick hurry. And, I think they've just come in with that mindset from day one and carried it through.
No doubt. We're talking to Kirk Dressendorfer. And Dress, you talk about competing and getting guys on the bump. Texas has been able to do that week in and week out. And you start to think about the injuries that they went through, next man up mentality, piecing some things together. And I've seen you out there and kind of you and I always have our little conversations about the game. But one of the things that I've always thought about is if your pitching shows up, you got a chance. And I'm not just saying that just because I'm talking to one of the best pitchers in the game, but in the reality of it, you got to have great starting pitching to be able to compete at this level.
There's no doubt, Hardge. And, losing, Spencer to the injury, and I hope he's doing well and heals quickly, that leaves a big hole. And going without Ballou for a while, the same way on the offensive side. But you're right. I mean, I watch a lot of SEC baseball. I watch the tournament. I mean, the guys they run out there, the depth they have and just the talent. You're right, with the starting pitching that can go deep into games and set up their bullpen, really set up, not just one game, but the entire series is very impressive. So I've really enjoyed watching, and it has to happen every year when you sometimes exceed expectations. You've got to get a little more out of guys that you may have not have counted on in as big roles as they're being pushed into. Volantis just, started off hot and has stayed that way. That's a freshman who stepped up, and you get one guy goes down, and especially your ace, that means it's a whole different ball game, as going from Saturday, Sunday starter to the Friday guy, where you're going ace versus ace, and really one a loss is almost like 2 losses in that situation. And because not only are you supposed to get a win against their best guy, you're also supposed to save your bullpen. So there's a lot of pressure. And I've really been impressed how everybody has been able to kind of go out there and stay within themselves, not do true, and a lot of credit goes to Max Wiener and Coach Schloss and that the coaching staff to keep these guys, keep their minds right and not just try to go do too much, stay within themselves.
No doubt. Kirk, I wanted to ask you too, because a lot of people always try to make a lot out of the SEC tournament, the Big 12 tournament, or back in your day, the Southwest Conference tournament. If a team has already been playing well and earned that right, obviously you want to win championships, but a regular season championship is just as good as an SEC or a Big 12 tournament championship, because you get a chance to line up your pitching, you get guys rested. But this is the time that everybody that plays college athletics, this is the time that you really want to try to get after it.
Oh, no doubt. And you're right. I mean, you want to win every game, but I think from a priority standpoint, it's the conference season, the conference tournament. You know, I mean, conference tournament is just kind of a nice showcase in some regards. And you know, when I was playing, we did the same thing. We were already, you know, predetermined. By the time you win your own conference during the regular season, you're already you know, hosting, and you already know where you're sitting. So really what you're using the tournament to do is stay, you know, keep that competitive edge, line up your pitching, like you said, go get your work in. But it wasn't win at all costs unless you were playing to get into a regional. So that was kind of how we approached it. I mean, we were fortunate. We won 2 out of 3 conference tournaments when I was at Texas, but it was fun baseball to me because, you know, you're already taking care of business during your conference season. That conference tournament was just fun baseball. It wasn't as much, you know, do or die type of pressure on you.
Well, unless you know, Coach Gustafson wanted something out of you, he would make sure
exactly.
that was the pressure of the tournament, was Coach Gustafson getting everybody fired up. Man, as always, we love catching up with you. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on the long overdue moment of being inducted into the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame, man. So proud of you, bro.
Thank you so
brother.
much. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me on.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you at the dish, bro.
All right, sounds good. You take care.
There he is, Hall of Famer, my guy, Kirk Dressendorfer. One of the reasons I wanted to come to the University of Texas was that guy right there. When we come back, we've got the world's strongest man bringing you his world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
A couple slow spots out there this morning. The right lane's blocked off by an accident southbound on I-35 at Airport Boulevard, causing a 15-minute delay from 183. There's also a stalled vehicle blocking off the right lane, Mopac southbound at the north end of Loop 360. Going to add about 10 minutes to your drive, and delays start from Howard. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
When you pull up somewhere, the first thing people see is your ride. So why not make a statement before you even open the door?
That's right, Mike. And with myplace.com, you can design a license plate that's all you, custom, bold, and Texas strong.
Put your nickname, your business, your favorite saying, whatever makes you, you. And don't worry, it's totally DMV approved.
Over 450 plate designs, sports teams, military, blackout styles, you name it. I got mine, and trust me, heads turn.
It only takes just a couple of minutes online. You choose your design, pick your message, and boom, your custom Texas license plate is on its way.
Why blend in when you can stand out?
Make sure you go to myplace.com today and use the promo code THEZONE. That's The Zone, all one word, to get up to $55 in savings. Visit myplace.com today and put your personality on the plate.
Football fans, the countdown is on. The rookies are ready. The matchups are heating up, and it's time to plan your game day. TickPick has you covered with no hidden fees and the lowest price guarantee. So whether you're heading to a rivalry game or just want a weekend experience, you'll pay less and get more. TickPick gives you all-in-one pricing and the lowest price guarantee. They're so confident, they back it up with their best price guarantee. Visit TickPick.com and score your seats before the best matchups are gone. $10 off your NFL order with code FS10 on the TickPick app.
Hi, this is Jason Smith. If you're looking for a new job this summer, have you considered using a recruiter? Your local Express Employment Professionals team is your one connection to endless job opportunities. With just one application, they can help you find a job across dozens of openings. And as always, job seekers never pay a fee. Visit expresspros.com to find a location near you. Visit expresspros.com. Whether you're looking for contract work or a full-time position, let Express help at expresspros.com. That's expresspros.com. The
largest gun show in Central Texas is back in Round Rock this Friday through Sunday. Texas Gun Shows, voted the #1 gun show in Texas, will be at the Embassy Suites off Interstate 35 in Round Rock in the same parking lot as Bass Pro Shops this weekend. Can't make it Saturday or Sunday? No problem. Check out the sneak peek Friday 4 to 7. Hundreds of tables of guns, free parking, and no need to take a toll road. Do not miss it. For more info, visit gunshowstx.com. Texas Gun Shows, making gun shows guns again.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather calling for partly cloudy skies for your Thursday, a high of 92. Scattered thunderstorms developing late tonight. Some could be severe, a low of 72. Friday cloudy, a high in the mid-80s.
This report is sponsored by Cordell & Cordell.
Cordell & Cordell, Divorce and Family Law. CordellCordell.com. 866-323-7529. 866-323-7529. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
I lived on a commercial salmon fishing boat in Alaska, and I genuinely think that was the first time I've ever felt myself kind of like slipping mentally. I think Alaska does weird things to people.
If you're interested in hearing anonymous callers like this tell stories from their lives, check out my podcast, Therapy Gecko. You can listen to Therapy Gecko on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Therapy Gecko and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Back to Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
That's what he does. Brings you his world's strongest take. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, brings you his world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
Hard?
Yes.
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Marcus. Back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. You're all guys. Last night, the Oklahoma City forced 21 turnovers in their win, taking them to the NBA Championship Series. And yes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was him. He got to stand up there with the microphone, get the award, and he be the one that handed it to his teammates. So that means that you are the leader. You are the edge of the sword. You're the tip of the spear. But I have to say this, and this is my take. The reason that I have, and I'm holding up this box of donuts, is because
I paid off my bet.
Let me finish. The reason that I got to hold that box up, like Shai got to hold up his title, is because of the bet that I made that this defense was so intense that ball-dominant players were not going to succeed against it. Everybody that the Oklahoma City Thunder has faced has to realize when you get the ball, you have to shoot. You have to already be in position to shoot. Because if you put it on the ground, they're going to send two. And they're fast enough to get back to their man. They couldn't wait for Anthony Edwards to get the ball because they knew that he was going to try to dribble first. Julius Randle, his skill set is he spins one way and spins the other way. They couldn't wait for him to get the ball, which led to the 21 turnovers in the game. That led, most of those turnovers led to 2 points or 3. It was impossible for Minnesota to win with the pressure, that the defensive pressure that they put on Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it with my chest. The reason that they won this series was not just because of Shea's greatness, because they mentioned Alex Caruso's name as much as they mentioned Shea's name because of the defensive pressure, and they assigned him to whoever was the most ball dominant guy. And he stripped the ball away from him. Every game in this playoffs, Caruso had 2 steals. And then the rest of the guys, they follow suit. It's like the blood in the water with sharks. They used in the telecast last night the word suffocating multiple times. They call these guys defensive demons. And Alex Caruso was the catalyst for the forced turnovers. So my take is that the Oklahoma City could be the best defensive pressure team since the Detroit Pistons. What say you?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
The Detroit Pistons.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Rodman, Isaiah, Dumas, Vinnie Johnson.
I mean, they're a good basketball team, and they're very solid. They will probably end up winning the NBA championship. But as far as saying that they're not that
dominant
physical.
defense.
They're not that physical. That Indiana, I mean, not Indiana, but that Detroit Pistons team was on a whole nother level defensively.
They did it with physicality. This
Yeah.
team is doing it with tenacity and speed.
Well, they do a lot of help defense, and
they're deep.
They like I said, they played 14 guys last night on their way to destroying the Minnesota Timberwolves. But
6
here's
of
the
them got to
thing.
play because of garbage minutes.
Well, but they got to play a lot of minutes.
That's true.
Some
A whole-
of them they don't
almost
even
a whole
let them-
quarter.
Yeah, they didn't have to let them play. But the one thing that I agree with you with is this defense, there's no quit in them. Alex Caruso has always been a defensive stopper. I mean, that's just who he is.
That's who he is.
He's been able to guard the post. He's been able to guard the wing. He's been able to guard the point. I mean, that's his calling card that is there. So for me, you start looking at who made the difference. Lou Dort is somebody that has always been a very, very physical guard. I saw
Jay Will.
I saw Stephen A. Smith bring this up last night. He was talking about how Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards were trying to move Lou Dort, and they couldn't because he's a big barrel-chested dude that makes it very difficult for you to move him about. So I look at this team. They're special. They've been good all season. That's why they've been the best team in the NBA. They got the MVP on their side, but they also have to be able to be more consistent moving forward because next week it looks like they are going to be taking on the Indiana Pacers.
And they don't turn the ball over.
And they play solid basketball as well. So it is going to be a very, very special moment when they get that moment to do so. So I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. But most importantly, they are playing for a NBA championship, and I had to pay
I got my
penance.
championship.
Yeah. Go ahead and give everybody your trophy.
Everybody said,
give
hey,
everybody your trophy.
Mark, you didn't even show the donut. Look at that, guys. Look at that.
Man, we're going to close out the show and send you
Victory
to
is
Dan
so
Patrick. But coming up next, we're going to talk softball, baseball, and did they get that fence figured out in left field? We'll talk about it and give you an update right now on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Text Texas, followed by your message to 81530 to chat along with your favorite sports radio, AM 1300, The Zone hosts. That's Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
A stalled vehicle blocks off the right lane going southbound on Mopac at Loop 360, causing a 5 to 10 minute backup starting from Howard Lane. There's also a crash blocking off the right lane on the service road of 290 eastbound at Brody, and a stalled vehicle is in the final stages of being cleaned up on Ed Bluestein Boulevard northbound at Highway 290. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical. In 20628.
Here's a great deal from Abacus Plumbing. Get a water heater flush or a mainline drain cleaning for only $49 each. That's a professional water heater flush or a mainline drain cleaning for only $49. Abacus. You can count on us.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
I am dedicated. I am TNT.
Team in Training will change your life with a marathon, half marathon, triathlon, or a cycle event, and you'll change the lives of blood cancer patients. Join TNT, fundraise for blood cancer patients, train with world-class trainers, and be part of the most exciting endurance sports events in the country. Or train on your own schedule with TNT Flex.
Join TNT now. Go to teamintraining.org.
Don't miss your chance for a memorable night's sleep during the Factory Mattress Memorial Day sales event. Hurry in for buy one, get one free, or a free adjustable base upgrade on select mattresses, up to $500 savings on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets, and even free delivery. Factory Mattress offers guaranteed lower prices and 0% financing for 60 months on all the top brands. It's the Memorial Day sales event, only at Factory Mattress, where we have sleep down to a science.
The riveting podcast, What Happened to Talina Czar, unravels the chilling mystery surrounding a woman's disappearance during the COVID-19 lockdown, the internet sleuths who wouldn't let it go, and the dark subcultures and betrayals they unearthed.
There were a lot of secrets that were very hard to find.
Listen to What Happened to Talina Czar on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow What Happened to Talina Czar and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hardworking, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour. And dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait, this really just happened? I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the start of summer 2025. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Make sure you have the free iHeartRadio app in your phone today.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff. And if you missed any part of the show, get over to our podcast page, wherever you get your podcast. But of course, we always want you to be part of the iHeart family. So get over there and download that iHeart Radio app so you can listen to Coach Schlossnagle as he went through the preparations that are going on. For those that missed it, we will have that up on the podcast page here in just a minute. But we also talked to him about the not softball. We did talk to him about softball because that's coming up next. But we also talked to him about left field and the fact that that wall was tore up last night because of the bad weather, and it was rough. And they got a lot of work that they are starting to already put
all
in
over
place.
the city.
And yeah, but everybody on here has been talking about the baseball game, and every
Right.
time I look up, they're like, "What's the update on the field?" Well, they're working on it, so we will know more a little bit later. But Coach did say that they plan on playing the game tomorrow, so don't worry about that. Tickets have already gone on sale. If you hadn't got a ticket yet, you can pick up your tickets. Go over to TexasLonghorns.com and get on that ticket page where you can get your tickets for the weekend. Also, Texas softball, they will play at 11 o'clock this morning. First pitch is at 11 a.m., but it starts at 10:45 right here with Andrew Haynes. Andrew Haynes will be on the call, so you can hear Andrew do his pregame at 10:45 right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. We also touched on the fact that Mark's take was about OKC. OKC has advanced to the NBA Finals. They will take on the winner of New York and Indiana. Indiana has a 3-1 lead on the New York Knicks, but they're back in New York tonight. Mark, what are you thinking about in tonight's basketball game?
Where do New York people go for vacation? They go to Florida, right?
Yeah, that's
Snowbird.
where most of them. Yeah,
Yeah, they'll be in Orlando. They'll be in Miami real soon,
right?
Because I see Indiana going in there and handling their business. You know, like this team is going to be down. I know they got a lot of fight in them, but they just don't have the tools. And if they start Robinson again, horrible mistake in coaching. Horrible mistake. Going to start Towns at center and
put Josh Hart back in. Yeah, because I'm just saying that it's been an interesting NCAA, NBA tournament. And right now, let me ask you this, because Jalen Brunson has been really, really banged up throughout this time. He has been carrying this team through the playoffs. Is he running out of gas?
I think he's running out of gas, and he does not have the goon squad. Mitchell Robinson, soft as tissue paper. He can't do it. Karl Anthony Towns, he thinks he's a guard. Who is the guy that's like, oh, you're going to hit my guard? Who's the Draymond Green of New York? They don't have it. You can't win. Can't win with that.
Yep.
You're not going to win. You're going to have some good games. The sun going to shine on your rear end just a little while, but the light going to go out as soon as the clouds come. And the clouds come in big dudes that want to inflict pain. He's going to the ground almost every time. What do they say in football? Where do you get hurt? When you go to the ground. So they got to do a better job retooling. They have a really good Texas Longhorn on that team. Really good. His whole career, he's been a kind of an enforcer. Played 2 minutes in the last game. 2 minutes.
You talking about PJ Tucker?
Yeah. I know he's older, but he got 6 fouls.
PJ is already back in Austin.
PJ is already.
PJ is like, man,
I'm
got
some shoes ready.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, where are my shoes at?
I'm gonna hook him up. I'm gonna hook him up with some real nice kicks.
Yeah, I'm
gonna introduce him to a guy. I'm
so just like,
I'll let him PJ. But I'm just wondering, why not throw him out there just for laughs?
Well, he's definitely going to be physical, but the reality of the situation is, this series is over.
It is over.
You got to win 3 games in a row.
You hear that singing?
Yeah,
that's the big lady.
Yeah,
we have to say big lady now. It's against the rules to body shame people.
Oh my
the
goodness.
big lady is.
There's gonna be some
warming
slow
up.
singing and flower bringing. That's what's happening right now. So it is.
Sorry, Knicks.
Yeah,
don't mean to hit y'all where it hurts, but it's time for y'all to pack y'all stuff and get down to Orlando. It's Disney time.
They are definitely. They're not going for
Universal.
They're not
y'all
going
do.
as the winners. Let's just say that.
No, they're going to Universal.
Yeah, they're not getting their opportunities taken care of too
They're not
much.
going to Disney.
But I start to look at this and I say, all right, it's kind of like the Timberwolves. What are the Timberwolves going to need to do to get over the hump?
Toughness. And they need somebody that can take the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hand and get him the ball on back screens. They need to give him more scoring without him handling the ball. And Conley is not the guy. Who's the guard out there that's going to be a free agent that can get him the ball and dictate where the team goes and put him in the best position to be the best scorer he could be?
Yeah, it is.
Because the way he tried to score this game with Oklahoma City set him up. They play every time. They don't attack until you dribble.
Right.
And then they want to force you out of your dribble. He's going to have to learn to get the ball, Rich Hamilton, shoot. He's going to have to Kobe, get the low post isolation, everybody spread out, go do your thing. He's going to have to do every other option to score other than I'm going to dribble this guy down, I'm going to dribble this guy down, and then the double team comes and you got to pass the ball to somebody with 3 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it.
Well,
can't win like that.
Can't win with them.
Can't win with him.
Can't win
soft
with
tissue.
Yeah.
He got soft tissue.
I mean, the whole thing about it is, to me, this team as a whole, the Knicks, they had it, but they depended upon one player way too much. Jalen Brunson got you there.
They burned him up.
He did everything he could possibly do to get you to this point. But every once in a while, you need some other guys to step up. You got rid of DiVincenzo. You got rid of him, another guy that can knock down threes. Miles Bridges, I thought he was gonna be it.
The center for Oklahoma City. They got rid of him.
Which one? Hardenstein?
Hardenstein. They needed him.
Yeah.
I would have got rid of Robinson over getting rid of Hardenstein.
Well, they're gonna be over there hanging out with the old folks in Florida. It's like that that episode of Jerry Seinfeld. Mortimer, we're coming down there. I want to thank Mark Henry. I want to thank Coach Schlossnagel. I want to thank Marcus. And I want to thank you, the people, as always. Tell 5 friends, because we will be back tomorrow to give you all the stuff from Texas softball, preview Texas baseball, Texas softball, 11 a.m. right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.
Want to win 2,000 times your money simply by watching sports? With Better Picks, every play will have you on the edge of your seat, as game day just got 2,000 times more exciting. That's right, with Better Picks, you can turn $5 into $10,000, $10 into $20,000, all the way up to $100,000 payouts. So take that pocket change and turn it into real winnings.
And it's super simple to use. Just pick a few players, choose more or less on their stats, and follow along live.
So why would you play daily fantasy anywhere else?